The science of the infinitely small. I remembered what Dr. Trace J., my professor in microbiology, said last semester. The law of the infinitely small is infinitely big. The bacteria, the viruses, and the cells, invisible to the eye, but shape life in a way we cannot fully measure. One unseen organism can alter the entire body system. One microscopic change can redirect an ecosystem. Creation whispers a pattern. What appears small is really small. Perhaps this is how we must learn to see children. Recently, I buried 3 young souls. Quietly, few people, 2 twins lowered into the earth at that night. Night burials feel different because the sky seems closer and the silence is heavier. I found myself asking a lot of questions. How does questioning happen for those who never spoke in full sentences? How does accountability apply to those who barely touched the world? Then my thoughts traveled beyond our cemeteries to the children that are buried, the children that are lost in Sudan, the children that are buried in Lebanon, some beneath rubble, some beneath hunger, and some beneath the weight of the world that has failed them. And I wondered, is the smallest coffin heavy because of its size, or because it carries a future we will never see? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Qur'an, وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ سُئِلَتْ, and when the girl who was buried arrived is asked, بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلَتْ, for what sin was she killed? And when you notice, the child is not questioned in this verse. The Quran does not ask, what did she do? It asks, for what sin was she killed? It is not the innocent who stand accused. It is history, it is the tyrant, and it's us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says in the Quran, مَنْ قَتَلَ نَفْسًا بِغَيْرِ نَفْسٍ أَوْ فَسَادٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ فَكَأَنَّمَا قَتَلَ النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. Whoever kills a soul, unless for a soul, or for corruption in the land, it is as if he has killed all of mankind. And for those who deliberately kill the innocent, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warns, وَمَنْ يَقْتُلُ مُؤْمِنًا مُتَعَمِّدًا فَجَزَاؤُهُ جَهَنَّمُ خَالِدًا فِيهَا وَغَضِبَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَلَعَنَهُ وَأَعَدَّ لَهُ عَذَابًا عَظِيمًا. Whoever kills a believer intentionally, his recompense is hell, a binding claim, and the wrath of Allah is upon him and his curse, and a tremendous punishment is prepared for him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the 5 punishments in this verse: the recompense of hell, a binding claim forever, the wrath of Allah is upon him and his curse, and even the punishments that are prepared for him. One soul, not a nation, not an army, not a statistic. To kill one innocent life is to stand before God as though we have destroyed humanity itself. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, كل مولود يولد على الفطرة. Every child is born upon purity. Then every injustice against a child is an assault against purity itself. And yet, divine justice does not operate on headlines. Allah says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُظْلِمُ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ. Indeed, Allah does not wrong even the weight of an atom. An atom, a speck, a particle of unseen. If an atom is not ignored, how could a child be? If a dharrat is accounted for, how could spilled blood disappear? And sometimes we usually ask ourselves, where are these children? We ask it not for information, but for comfort. The tradition of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they tell us that the children of believers roam in paradise like birds, unburdened, unscared, untouched by the violence that ended them. Khalid ibn Madnan spoke of a tree in Jannah called Tuba that nourishes them, and I think of the children of Gaza, Sudan, Lebanon. Perhaps what crushed them here was no weight there. Perhaps what silenced them here becomes a voice there. Perhaps what ended abruptly here unfolds infinitely there. And perhaps who could, without trembling, will one day tremble without escape. We usually measure life by duration. Allah measures it by meaning. We usually measure it by years, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala measures it by witness. Some lives are long and unnoticed. Some lives are brief and become an argument before the throne. Maybe the smallest lives are not small at all. Maybe they are mirrors reflecting our moral state back to us. The twins that I buried, the children of Gaza, the children of Sudan, the children of Lebanon, their lives were short, but perhaps their shahada is long. Perhaps the smallest coffins are heavy because they carry a testimony we cannot escape. The infinitely small is infinitely significant. And on the day when the scales are set, what we dismissed as minor may outweigh mountains. And inshallah, tomorrow we speak about the dreams, those subtle intersections where the soul sleeps behind the visible.